he worked up there where they can on now. Irvin done got on that. That big tractor place. Man.
Caterpillar?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Uncle Mose worked there until he retired. Man, that's a real job. He had. They got a good union. And he worked there until he retired. And he come home every year. And everybody looked up to Mose because he had a good job at that time.
Made good money.
Made good money. And he's always come. And boy, they respected Green. Most all these folks come out of Green Northern's house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that man was a good Samaritan to I don't know how many generations.
So now he raised you. Well, you came when you was older.
Yeah.
But he raised Daddy.
Yeah.
He raised.
Well, just said Cabell and Zeta and all them.
Cabell, Zeta. Who else he raised?
Isaac. Isaac. I mean, everybody was in that house. Even down to old Darcy and Hersey and all them has been in that house.
Now, that's the name when you said nothing about Hersey. Hersey Tyson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Hersey come in and married into Dad's family. To his niece, Nevada Weddle.
Okay. I knew them Weddles and them Tysons was close.
Okay, now that's where we. Cause Hersey married her.
Okay.
At one time.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit more now. I know you probably talk a little bit more about stuff like you being a Mason and what you did growing up. Talk a little bit more about that for me. How long you been in the Mason?
I believe about 50.
About 50 years.
Yeah. So me and Bernice been married 58 years.
58 years.
You don't tell my age.
I told y'all will be married 60 years come December 24th.
Yeah.
60 years, December 24th.
But yeah, we've been.
Let me tell you something. To find an example like you and AT, you have to look far and long.
You got that right.
Okay, now I'm just telling you. Me being a young man, I've been married. I ain't gonna tell you how many times I've been married. Now here you are, you and AT married. Y'all ain't raised. We used to say them kids coming out the woodwork. You know over there, them kids coming out the woodwork. You talking to one, then they coming in. Things like that just don't happen by accident. Hey, tell us how you were so successful. Tell us about that. Tell us about that, huh? How you could do that.
What part of you want to know?
Anything you want to tell us. Anything you want to tell us. You too ain't T.
Except the intimate part.
Not the intimate part. That goes to show right there. Hey kids.
You already know that part.
You already know that part.
Yeah,
but just tell us a little bit about if you was gonna give me some advice, give the world some advice. What would you say to the world about keeping a marriage and living a long, good, healthy life? What would you tell us?
Well, I don't know, but I guess the Lord has to be
In the plan.
In the plans. In other words, we started married off from school kids. Just as I said, when I was this young boy from Jackson, and everything went out there to the country, and I met this little country girl out there. I'm being a city slicker and everything, and we just started to going together, and well, that's where the relationship started out there in the country. Then they moved to town about a few months before we did, and I believe that they was over here about a year. before we was.
Mm-hmm.
And me and her brother Bill, did you know him?
I don't think so.
We was running buddies together
Mhm.
too at the time, and I don't guess he keep her informed on everything that when me and him go out.
Mhm.
Yeah. He come back there.
He would. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
I was going with a girl out in the country named Elma Hill,
Mm-hmm.
and he was going.
You were playing my mama.
Who was he going with? And we got the car broke down, and we stayed all night.
Uh-huh.
After we stayed all night, then come home that next morning,
Uh-huh.
caught a ride, and I don't know who we got. I don't know whether it was his car or my car.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, time goes on until I get ready to go in the army and drafted. After we moved over here, I never did join, but I was affiliated with Greta Bethel.
Uh-huh.
She was still going out there
The Walnut Road?
on the Walnut Road
Uh-huh.
with her dad there, you see.
Mm-hmm.
As long as she's at home, Galen driving.
Uh-huh.
And I thought about marrying,
Mm-hmm.
but I told her I wasn't going to marry nobody as long as I know I was getting ready to go to service.
Uh-huh.
And she said that she'd wait.
You waited on your mind.
Paid off though, ain't it?
Paid.
It
60
paid
years
off.
later.
8 children and 50 years
9
later.
children in 60 years. 59 and a half.
So how did you meet? Auntie, how y'all meet? Did you see him in school one day? How y'all meet?
Well, we went to school together.
Yeah, we went to school together, just like I said, after I
Uh-huh.
went out there and started staying with Dad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to school together. That's the way we actually met.
And then you was friends with her brother.
Yeah, me and him was big friends.
Car broke down, you had to spend the night.
We spent the night in that car.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't go in that house, could you?
No. No, we spent the night in the car, and that next morning we walked on the town.
Mm-hmm.
And, but anyway, as time goes on, I don't know. I hadn't been one to do a lot of writing, but we corresponded some while I was in service.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got out in '47, then we started back to where we left off from.
Mm-hmm.
We hooked back up, and I was over with Greta Bethel and my uncle J.D. Harrington. He took me under his wings,
Mm-hmm.
and really brought me out. And when I got ready to marry, well, he called himself being the best man. Don't get me or give me away.
Mm-hmm.
He carried us down Colorado, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually his home. That's where he was actually from.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado. Had been up here in Jackson for so many years and everything. So he carried us down to meet his folks, his brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and their children and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got acquainted. And just like they was a part of the family then. Then we would go on over to the courthouse
Mm-hmm.
and get married.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't have to wait and go through a lot of
Red tape. In Tennessee, you had to get a blood test and wait 3 or 4 days.
That's right.
In Mississippi, you was gonna get married today.
They never did do that.
That's
right.
what I thought. That's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people went to Mississippi and got
Yes,
married.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
They did.
Tell me what's your proudest moment. What you would like the world to remember you for. Well, tell me this right here. What's your favorite scripture?
Well, I don't.
Like a lot of them, I know.
I
You don't have a favorite?
There is a lot of them that I like. But,
The American Music Awards goes to
what comes to me all the time is that Solomon, after the Lord told him that David, that he told him that he wasn't going to let him build a temple. And he charged his son Solomon, but he's going to let Solomon build it. And he charged his son Solomon, he told him to be strong and always walk in the admonitions in the ways of the Lord. And he said, the Lord he has promised me that if you do that, that you will not fail to be a king on the throne of Israel. And what it meant that he's going to deny David, but he's going to let his son build it, so that still was his seed that built God the house. And he charged him, he said, be strong, therefore, and show yourself a man.
See, I like that. Huh? I like that.
And to go further, the late Grandmaster Charles F. Williams, when he would come to Jackson, go make his visit to us, he'd always call me to come out to the hotel and just talk with him and keep him company until it's time for him to go to bed. He's laying at the hotel, nobody knew him. And he told me he would give me some wisdom. And he told me about the things that people that tried to get him in traps that people would try to lay for him. But he was always smart enough to maneuver around it. And he told me, he said, James, said, don't ever get yourself in a predicament that you can't stand up and be a man.
That's some good words right there. That you can't stand up and be a man.
That you got to bow and take over because what they got on you. You know, that's what he's talking about. That you can't stand and be a man.
That's some great advice right there. Because you knew, I imagine you didn't, you never thought that the world would be the way the world is today.
No, I didn't.
You know?
No.
But now,
and even now, by our upbringing, your upbringing, and the way way I was brought up, and the way we passed that legacy on down and brought you all up the same way.
same way.
Can you see all the differences now?
Yes, sir.
I ain't allowed to do this. I ain't allowed to whoop your child and all that kind of, to really whoop him. All that kind of stuff.
That ain't the way it's supposed to be.
Man, I'm glad I don't have to try to raise none now.
It's a different world today.
It's a different world.
Yeah. Well, if you was going to tell your sons, your daughters, your grandkids, if you was going to give them a piece of advice, what would you tell them? The same thing that you were told?
Same thing I was told.
Stand up and be a man.
Stand up and be a man. I've been of the opinion, and I was raised that way, that the man is the head of the house, but you have to walk in the way that the woman will give you that respect.
Right.
And honor you as the head. And when I said the head, I brought up a man it is unheard of that these men would go off and leave a family or sit around slouching no good, and the woman have to get out and scuffle and work for you. That wasn't
the way it's supposed to be.
no. And I wasn't brought up that way. The lay up and it's bad, but a lot of these girls and things, they marry a joker, and they know he ain't no good, and they'll get out and work and scuffle. Now, it hurt my heart to see a joker married to one of my daughters.
And not being a man and
Not
taking care of
being a
him
man.
like he's supposed to.
And one of them is married to one that she stays with him, but there's a lot of things that that I wouldn't.
All right. Okay, I don't mean to touch no soul spots there. I want to talk about good things.
All right.
Good things. All right. Okay. Well, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. And I wish that everybody could have a life that you've lived. And done the things that you've done. Raised a good family. You know, been a man. Been a man. Showed me how to be a man. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I just want you to know.
But if I went in anyway soon, I feel like that's something that I've always known, and I don't know. It might come to pass, because I'd love to see. I write songs, and look like I struggle to get them out, let people hear them, and maybe get them on the chart. I've had a struggle on that.
Well,
Dot, I wrote one. Well, she did sing one of the songs that I wrote. Was Rough Road. She and Jasper Williams, they recorded it. And but I ain't been able to. After Christine passed, where we did get an album, I wrote 2 songs on that album, and she wrote one on it. Have you seen that album?
I can't say that I have.
That's a change. She wrote that one, and I wrote "Cast All Your Cares" and "Payday."
You gonna get some of those songs and let us?
I wish you could put them in a book form if I can.
Yeah, you've written how many songs? 20, 30? Yeah, I'm all written down once. It's written several.
I'd love to get them songs out. I mean, but my biggest hindrance is that I ain't got nobody. We ain't got a musician. And Apple B, I thought about him. And we ain't got no musician out there that I'm just gonna fool with. I ain't gonna fool with.
How many songs have you written?
I got about 16.
16. Okay.
Not.
And I ain't gonna
Don't get upset.
cut that. I ain't gonna cut this out. I ain't gonna turn that song over to somebody.
Get them copyrighted.
Get them out. I got I got the first one's copyright.
Mhm.
I got about 5 or 6. The first songs. Well, let's see. The ones on here.
Mm-hmm.
I went and had that copyright Payday.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote that one.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wrote Cast All Your Cares. I wrote those 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Rough Road. Now I got copyrights on all that and some of the others. And I rearranged
Uh-huh. Okay.
I rearranged In the Glory Land. And I rearranged that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know, one good thing about living in
Christine
today's
Chapman.
time.
Boy, if she had lived, we'd been gone though.
Mhm.
She wrote that one
Okay.
for the change.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Now, living in today's time, music is something that is out there.
Yes, it is.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Now, I got a son that's got a recording studio in his house, and he can play any instrument
All right,
that you.
man.
Mhm.
What are you doing?
Isaac Jr.
Do he sing?
He don't sing, but he can play any instrument that they got out there. All right.
What is he doing?
Well, he down there in Memphis, and
You know, Applebee's down there.
I'll be down there.
That Applebee can play too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, are they doing it? Applebee's still playing for a church.
Uh-huh.
He plays for a church down there.
He's still playing for. He got Warner Grove Mail, not Warner Grove Mail Course, but he's got. They got the mail course down there at his church that he plays for, and then on Sunday he plays for some churches down there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Anybody that's really out there, but do Isaac's son?
He knows how to get
Do
it
he
out
play?
there.
Do he play for?
He plays. He can play. He can.
Do he play for any churches? He plays.
No. He's into jazz.
Mm-hmm.
He can do just jazz. And if you want some music put to some words, he'll be the one to do it.
Well, now Bobby got 2 twin boys
sons,
that's
yeah.
bad too.
Uh-huh.
But they played at the school and they played. Now I'm giving them some to try to work with,
Mhm.
you know. But
Mm-hmm.
they so busy we can't never get together and spend no time.
Mm-hmm.
Cause when you get ready to go and record,
Mm-hmm.
you wants to be right, and you got to spend a lot of time in getting
right.
that stuff right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I didn't know old Junior had nobody like that.
Yeah, he's got 2 sons. Both of them musically inclined, but one of them is just gifted.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now, when Bobby's 2 boys came to see me down here at the Honda place about a year or 2 ago, I can't remember. I told them about the Rail, which is Ike's son. I said, y'all need to get together because they told me that they was into music real heavy.
That's right. Yeah,
One of them teaching at a school.
they both teaching at a school now.
Okay.
And well, you know, they finished Tennessee State last December, and went on back home. Then had schools.
Yeah. But anyway,
And they played for a church. They played at a church now.
they do.
They both play at the same church. One of them plays a sax, I believe, and the other plays a guitar, I believe. But and one of them, boy, put a little harmonica on there. That's what
Now,
I
this is what you can
like
do
to
right
record.
here. This is what you can do right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they call a poor man's patent. Copyright. You can take those songs that you wrote, write them down on a sheet of paper, and mail them to yourself. Postmark such and such a day. Now, if somebody steals your songs and making a lot of money off of them, you can take that letter to court, and that'll prove that you was the writer of the song, and they'll have to pay you royalties.
Oh yeah. Well, I've sent these first ones, as I said, I've sent all them. They've been to Washington. I got copyrights on them.
Okay.
You know. But I'll do that the same thing on these. Yeah, Lynn knows how to do that. We send all that stuff. I got all my papers in there and everything. But yeah, that's and I've heard from several people in California that says that one of the people said asked me to send them the music, but they want the music. And the song. They want all that stuff together. When you send it down there, they said they listen to it, and then they'll put it out there to those
to the public,
to those others, and let them hear it.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, man. So that's.
All right. So, have you, like if I brought my tape recorder over here and you just sang your songs without the music, you think you could do that? Then we could take that to the boys down there in Memphis and let them put the music to it.
Well, that's what I did on Bobby's boys on song. But, yeah, they could, but it's so much better when you're singing it. They right there, they can feel that in, and it really gives you a better
yeah,
boost.
Yeah.
When you got that, what's missing is this thing.
Yeah.
No, what I would just like is to have all that, get in a place. In other words, we out there at our church, we got an outfit set up out there. That the one put it in, he said it's available to put out over PM music. What was his name? He come out there and put that thing in. He said they'll do anything, record, anything. And said that's one of the best systems you can buy that we put in the church. But we got such sorry musicians, but I ain't gonna put out none of it. But I did go on and sing Payday with the mail course and everything. I'll sing it and Cast All Your Cares.
I think that picture's on some of the paperwork I got here from out the Walnut Grove.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that picture.
All these brothers is gone in now, but me and him.
What's his dad's name?
Irvin Jones. He did right over here in Virginia.
Okay.
Jack Mayweather, he's gone in. Well, that's Billy Golden. He's still around.
He's still around.
William Stewart has gone in. This one's gone in.
What's his name?
Anderson, Fred Anderson.
Okay. And then Howard Cobb.
Howard Cobb's still around, and Aaron Tate, he's still around. But you know, he got the
throat thing.
That throat thing. He can't talk. Christine Chapman's gone in.
Probably what we need to do one day is get your two grandkids, get Ike's boy, get Shaq, and get them all y'all together in one spot, and don't let them leave. Don't let them leave until we can put something down that you be happy with.
That's right.
You know, just look here. We're gonna donate a day to Uncle James. We're gonna donate a day to Grandpa James, and we need to get together and just do that. And you bring all your music, all your songs, and then you know they ought to be able to put some music together with it. Today's time, they got so many things to record on right now. Just like that thing right there, sitting up there with a battery on it, recording everything we say. You got little media cards. You got computers you can record on. I mean, it's just so many ways to record. You got cassette tape players. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we done had reel-to-reels, 8-tracks. I mean, it's just so many things to record on these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's the answer right there. What you just got through saying.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing before I get in big
Mhm.
trouble. I love you, Mary. I love you more than
So I guess what we need to do is just
And I guess it would-
get together, get
There
all
would have
of
to
it
be a
together.
time when these boys is out of school,
Mm-hmm.
ain't got that to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And what does them boys actually do? They work.
They work in the daytime. The rail work at a bank.
Uh-huh.
The world work at a bank. Shaq works over there for Ike, and he's just working part-time. And so we need to just get together
That's right.
one of these days when they can.
That's right.
Well, all right, I'm looking. I ain't gonna take up no more of your time. I just want you to know
But boy, we spend a good
there's
time.
nothing wrong with sitting around and reminiscing. I sure appreciate all the help you gave me on who these people was, and because I've sit up here. You know how long Angela been gone.
Yeah.
I sit up here and wonder now who was this person, who and how is she tied into the family? Or is that person tied into the family? I done sit up and wondered that for a long time, and I've been saying I was gonna come over here and talk with you for years, and I'm just not getting here. Please don't be mad at me.
Oh, that's all right. That's perfectly all right. Yes, sir. I just wish we done, because we went to 2 services. We had a family and friends day at 3 o'clock. So at 12 o'clock service, we come home and ate dinner. And then at 3 o'clock, we went back. Then after we come back from this 3 o'clock, we just pulled off.
Everything. Yeah, I understand that. So if y'all want to do some picture taking, we do that next Sunday. What time y'all want me to come?
We'll be out of church by 12:30.
Yeah, we'll be out of church at 12:30.
Okay.
That,
I can come over here about 12:30 then.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then we won't be done pull off. No.
Yeah, we'll take some
Got out
pictures
of
then.
us.
I took that picture right there. Who is that picture right there on that nightstand? Who is that? Sitting in that black chair. Who is that? I took that picture.
Who? I can't see
That,
that.
sitting in that black chair there. Who took that?
Gwen?
I took that picture.
It was down at the Civic
Down
Center
at
at
the
something.
Civic I think it was Bobby Womack.
She was down there.
Gwen,
Cause you get on there a lot of times.
I tried to get Ben to help me
Yeah.
take pictures one time, but he never did really want to do it. So. Nah, just like you love music and that's your hobby. I love pictures. I love pictures.
Well, that would go together.
Yeah.
When that old doc comes, now she was down at Frank Ray's last year, and then she comes to the amphitheater down there a lot, down in Memphis. And we go down there every time she comes.
Okay.
Follow her.
Okay.
We went to Frank Ray. She had a concert down there last year. She gave us, after it was all over, we went down in the basement. They fed all of her guests and everything. Then she autographed Bibles and give all of us the Bible.
Okay. So she's recording and out there on the national level now. Is that what she's doing?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she's out there now.
Now pick out those you want me
Stay
to
in
make.
Atlanta. She got a big house there in Atlanta.
Pick out those you want me to make you copies of, and I'll bring them back next week.
That's my daddy.
All right.
This Zeddy. Yeah. I better get on Queen.
Okay.
You got one of your mothers?
I believe I have, but I'm gonna let him get me one.
All right.
So I can make sure.
Take care of
And
it.
Murto. So man,
You got one of Myrtle? I remember Myrtle.
Me and him.
I ain't gonna touch it because
This one.
he went to Lane College, didn't he, or something?
No, he was in the Navy.
He's in the Navy.
He was in the Navy. He used to say
I remember
naturally all the time.
Myrtle.
He come to the family reunions, and he'd always be about drunk now.
That's right.
And he'd be like naturally. And then he told me he had a woman in every port.
Some of y'all know, you all know Myrtle.
I remember the name, but I think.
I'm a Myrtle.
You know, some of y'all was laughing about it not too long ago. When Myrtle be down to dad, he get that fifth of whiskey. Cause Myrtle stayed here long enough to got a job. Cause he was a boiler man in the Navy. Got a job down here in the Asheville.
Okay.
Man, and that scoundrel, I think they found him down there drunk one night.
Okay.
They let him go. Cause he'd hide that bottle from himself.
But his real name was
Dorset Myrtle Shaw. Dorset Myrtle.
Myrtle Shaw. Okay. All right.
Because he was named after his uncle. His uncle was named Myrtle.
Okay. 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 All right. So you want these right here. And what else you want?
Who is that now?
This is Aunt Zetta. This is your daddy Rufus Pearson.
Uncle Peter.
And Dorsey and Uncle Peter.
Let's see. What is this?
8.
Yeah, I ain't got none 8.
Alright. That's Daddy, that's Isaac.
Yeah, I better get Fred. I think I got them, but I may not have. I better go. Now you got Jones and all of them right here. That ain't Nona. That's her husband, last husband,
Walter Mason.
Walter Mason. That Nona when she was real young.
And that
That's
right
her.
there is.
That's Nona. It says Nona.
Nona.
Yeah, that's her.
That's how I remember Aunt Nona right there.
That's Show Myrtle. Oh my.
And that's Joan right there.
Yeah, that's Myrtle.
That's Walter Mason and his wife Nona.
Nona, ain't Nona.
She
My niece's mama.
That's Uncle Myrtle again. And that's Joan right
That's
there.
Jones. Our niece's daughter.
So now, this is Aunt Anice's mom and daddy right here. Is that right?
No, that ain't her daddy. That's her mama.
That's her mom. Okay.
See,
okay. And this is the granddaughter.
my uncle Andrew is our niece's daddy.
Okay.
It's her daddy and Robert.
Okay. All right.
Robert and our niece is a whole sisters and brothers.
Okay.
But Lillian come in that seat. My daddy, my uncle Andrew was her daddy, but another mama.
Okay. Now Lillian, I think I went to a wedding one time. Her son got married up in St. Louis.
Might have.
I think, and I can.
Cause she was a school teacher for a long time.
Up in St. Louis, up in that
Lillian
area. Austin, St. Louis area. Okay. Okay. All right. Now my sister Jerry was telling me about. She was living over there on Islam Street with Daddy Green, and they had this pet pig. And they would ride this pig up and down the street, Doris. And they went to school one day, and they come back and they asked where Pinky was, and Daddy Green said, well, Pinky gone. And Pinky was back there on the grill. And she said she ain't ate pork since then. She said she ain't ate pork since then, and that's what Jerry told me. You know Jerry.
Jerry Mercer?
Jerry Northern. Daddy's oldest daughter by Aunt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. By Winnebelle.
By Winnebelle.
Yeah. She told me.
She told me that. She ain't ate pork since then. Yeah.
But boy, I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. Cause them kids get to hanging around Dad. No, Dwight hang around him when he had the mules. Jim. Dad would get him on the mule, on the wagon with him. And I don't know how he got tied up with motorcycles as much as he loved stay with Dad and on that wagon.
On that way.
Dad let him drive over Jim.
It's all right there.
But that girl stopped eating pork, huh?
You stop eating pork.
A pig.
Yeah.
We had no business falling in love with him. Time come for the slaughter.
Say they ride him up and down the other street though.
He had to go, huh?
Yeah. Now tell me this right here. Now, somebody told me that we had an uncle that lived over there on Island Street that got in trouble with the law. And the Ku Klux Klan came up and drug him off one day and they ain't never seen him no more. Have you heard anything about something like that?
No, who had
The Ku Klux Klan.
a cousin though, boy? Who had it?
He was somebody that lived over there on Island Street.
He lived on Island Street?
I don't know who this was, but somebody told me a story about something like that. I don't know who it was. They didn't put no name with it or nothing.
I don't know nothing about that. Cause I know I was first on Island Street, and we ain't had no problem from the time we moved in. That must have been some of them slave stories from Grandma. Grandma
Can you
lived
tell
back
us any of them slave stories? You remember any of them she told you? Slave stories? Tell us about that.
Oh,
Can you remember anything like that?
Man, I wish I could make Ivy Taylor shame if I had sense enough to keep all that stuff and wrote a book on what she told me.
For real?
Yes, sir. And I'll start right here, just at random, some of the things.
Okay.
During the slavery, they didn't want them slaves to learn nothing. Do you know the trick of that? If you educate a person, you can't hold him a slave, because he'll find some way to free himself. You can't educate him and hold him a slave.
Okay.
What they would do with her, she'd say, the only way they could look at a book is when old mistress, the young girls, and that's what they went to school, and they want to come home, and they didn't have nobody else of the whites to play school with, so they get them little young slave girls and play school. Play school.
Okay.
With her. Otherwise, they wasn't gonna get to look at no books. That's the only way they'd see a book. Playing school.
Now who told you this story right here? This was
Grandma.
Grandma told you this story.
She told me that.
No, honey, this is Grandma.
And where they gonna sell a slave?
Jane Theus?
No. This Cindy Sessom.
Cindy Sessom.
That's who we call Grandma.
Grandma. Okay.
That's the one that lived in the house. She lived with Daddy Green and Babe.
Okay.
They're in the house with all the rest of the host of us.
Okay.
And boy, she could tell you some things. She told me, well, the way they come to Tennessee, she said they were sold from North Carolina to Tennessee. And the way they got and stayed together, the slave master said a lot of times they wouldn't buy the whole family. They'd buy one out of the family, maybe one son from a mother and the daddy, and buy him and go on somewhere else. That's really, we don't know really who our folks are.
Okay.
But this slave owner bought the whole family of them and brought them to Tennessee.
Okay.
From North Carolina. And when I was in the army, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, they still got the darn slave market right downtown where they sold slaves.
What part of North Carolina?
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Now this family that brought our family here in Tennessee, you remember what the name? Were they Northerns?
No, they were Sessoms.
They were Sessoms. Okay.
They were Sessoms. Now.
Okay,
They weren't
okay.
Northern. Now, that's the way. I'm gonna tell you about the Sessoms. Now the Northerns. Now I don't know. I don't have anything
On the Northerns, but the Sessoms.
from the slave side.
Tell me about it. Everything you know.
Okay. So that's the way they got here,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they would get you ready
Mm-hmm.
when there's gonna be a market, just like have you ever been to an auction on cars and things?
I sure
I know
have.
because you working in car.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same way they would do when they gonna sell
Slaves.
slave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they would say?
What?
Getting you ready, that the man knows that he had a bunch of slaves that he's gonna put out there on the market
Mm-hmm.
to sell.
Mm-hmm.
They say, comb their hair and grease their face.
Mm-hmm.
Now you catching this on that
I'm
that
catching
thing,
it
but
on that
I
thing.
don't know if I want to say that.
Please say it. Don't hold back.
They said the nigger buyer gonna be by tomorrow
Uh-huh.
or the next day or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That's what they would say.
Mm-hmm.
Comb their hair and grease their face, and said the day of the auction they'd have them, the little children and all, have them greased all up,
Mm-hmm.
and they have them sitting out there.
Mm-hmm.
He'd come by
Mm-hmm.
just like he would a car. You gonna buy
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of cattle or something.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at them, looking them over. He'd come by and look you over.
Mm-hmm.
And if you was fat and healthy, you'd bring more than
A skinny one.
yes, sir.
Okay.
And then he might, if it was a whole family, he might buy them, or he might buy so many out of this whole family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when families has been destroyed, and they don't know nothing about who they're for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but it said that this slave owner bought them and bought the whole family, her mother and daddy,
Mm-hmm. To Tennessee.
brought them to Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and she grew up, and she went on from that.
And this way, Senior Sesson right here.
This one right here.
You see this,
Boy,
Teresa?
she had wisdom.
Teresa.
They said in the news,
Oh, that was her.
that's the Jackson son that
Mhm.
that come out, and they interview her,
Uh-huh.
and they said that so the thing in the poll thing, she just, but the age she give them,
Mm-hmm.
she was 105 when she died,
Mm-hmm.
but they said they believe she was older than that.
Okay.
That's what she knew,
Mm-hmm.
but they said they believe she was older than 105.
Okay. Now, Big Mama Becky, they said she was 90 something.
96.
But you see the census record that I got right here was taken in 1900, which made her over 100. They was wrong about her age. They was wrong about Big
About
Mama.
96.
Yeah, they was wrong about it. Because I've seen her, that census record that I showed you, where she was listed down there with Hattie and Green and,
Yeah.
and all of them. That was a 1900 census, and she was already 4 months old when that census came out.
Yeah, Yeah, but all them others was Hatter and Green, them, they supposed to been older than her.
They was. If you look at that.
Well, Dad,
Uh-huh.
they didn't have Dad.
Look at here.
What they have Dad
Right
when
here,
he died?
right here, right here. Is that the record I was showing you right here? Wait a minute. Let me show you right here. Here it is right here. James Northern right here.
James
It'll
Northern.
tell you their ages right here. One was
Let me see. That's Green name.
uh-huh.
Son.
Uh-huh. It'll tell you their age right there.
What was it?
Wait a minute, I have to look and see
'Cause
here.
it's-
But I know for a fact that in the 1890 census, when this was taken, Big Mama, Rebecca Northern, was already 4 months old. It was either 4 or 6 months old. I seen it right there on the census record. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was some of that. And they said that when the North, after they came around,
Mm-hmm.
and they called them the blue coats.
Mm-hmm.
So they called them the blue coats and said that they was tell them whenever they's coming, they tell them to hide. They brainwashed them.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them to hide. Because if they had found them, they didn't have took them and carried them on.
And freedom.
North, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And freedom.
But they tell them, had them believing that they don't do something to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they whenever they come in, they make them hide. You know, couldn't find none. Didn't have no slaves and everything. Till after they would go, leave. And,
Well, now Tennessee used to be North Carolina years ago. This whole part was all North Carolina. They just divided Tennessee and North Carolina back in the 1800s. I can't remember what year. But Tennessee and North Carolina used to be all the same state.
Well, you can't never tell. They could have been. I do know. I heard her say after she come to Madison County, as we know. Now, they come from the Decatur County up, back up that Tennessee River, back up there. She said that's where they come from.
Decatur County.
Decatur County.
The Session Steel. Okay.
And here.
Okay. That's good to know.
And so, let me see what some of the things that she. And she actually said that and another thing, when that the white man, and that's when he made his biggest mistake, when he let them have freedom of going to church. That, you know, they thought they was doing something, you know. Yeah, we don't care about these niggas going to church and everything. And that is that's the reason you don't down the black preacher that come along in them times. So that's the only time that he could realize that he was a man, stand up and be a man. Was at the churches. Because he wasn't there otherwise. But she said that they would always allow them to go to church. Let them have a church. And so doing, in other words, this First United Methodist right here on Chester, that's what President Lane, Bishop Lane, was a slave, and that's where he went. And after they give him freedom, you know, he come out, and right now, Lane College gets a lot of aid from them.
United Methodist Church.
Yes, sir. And they come together. Mother Liberty, they talked that just here the other week. When Mother Liberty went in there, First United went in there with them and give them a lot of money on building that church back.
Okay. I'm going to just make sure my...
Because they know that they come out of that.
Now,
and Lane, I guess he hit it. Him and just a few more blacks is buried out here on Riverside.
Isaac Lane is?
Yes, sir. It ain't him and maybe it may be one or two more buried out there.
Bishop Isaac Lane.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit more about... Here's a lightning bug right here.
Dad, we only got one. Other ones fell out.
It did.
I see one. We see one. Oh, come look. Look. Oh no. There's one right there. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's gone. I think it's some.
Where you going? In the house?
We gotta find them.
You do?
At least one.
At least one?
Guys, this is a very emergency. Kind of like squirts. No, bugs can die in water. And we don't see the phone. Let's get him a little bit. Get ice. Get 2 pieces of ice. Okay.
Okay. Don't make the water, don't make a mess, okay? Alright. I don't think the lightning bug is gonna like ice.
Max, Emmy, I'm so glad you.
I don't think he will.
Hey, where's our hot board?
Max, we've got work to do. Hola, niños.
Hola, Ketchup. Hi.
We all have something very important. Look over there.
Okay. But what happened to all the color? It got washed away by a big rainstorm.
Even our school. See, that's what.
No, we don't. That's when you're can't. I can't use all of them. You can't use milk of them. You can't. You only have enough. I got one. You can only have one. Do you find I want Alex! Austin, come on! Austin, come on! We're leaving! Austin! Seatbelt on! Here's your thing that you drive on. I'll get... You know what? I do this. Know nothing about them in 10 seconds. Austin! Austin! Now! Austin!
Austin. You gonna play with him, Austin?
You want to go in the back, Austin? Austin wants to go in the back.
You gonna play with him, Austin?
Austin, in the back. Austin, in the back. Austin, the back's ready. Austin, in the back. Austin. Austin.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
Austin. Come on, you can bring that way.
This was Austin's Halloween outfit.
It was. He loved that little train thing, don't he? Austin.
Can I have a kiss, Austin?
Look here, man. You know you're sleepy. Look at him rubbing his little eyes.
My big boy.
Hey, I thought he knew how to use the bathroom by himself, but I guess he did. Okay.
What happened? He had accident?
Well, no, he got on the toilet and everything, but then when I went up there a while ago, it was stuff all over the seat.
Oh, he might not have made it in town or something. Well, he been pretty. Now, if he's booking one, you might have to help him clean, get himself clean himself. But for the most part, if it's just regular tinkle, he can go by himself. Did you clean it up?
I cleaned up.
What'd you do? You messed up the toilet.